You're about to uncover the dark side of one of the ocean's most mysterious and captivating creatures. At first glance, they appear majestic, almost magical. They're stunning, charismatic, and incredibly smart. But beneath that beauty lies something far more unsettling. A ruthless predator with chilling intelligence and a behavior that borders on sadistic. We're talking about orcas. Yes, the same orcas that star in marine park shows, the same ones that glide gracefully across the screen in National Geographic documentaries. But don't be fooled by their charm. These animals are far more than just icons of wild marine life. There's a deeply disturbing reason why they've earned the name killer whales. The orca's reputation as a killer whale stirs both fear and awe. But how much of that is just legend, and how much is terrifying truth? Chapter 1. A name that strikes fear. Why are orcas called killer whales? In reality, orcas aren't whales at all. They're actually the largest members of the dolphin family. That's right, they're giant dolphins, not whales. The whale part of their name simply reflects their massive size, as many people casually lump all large marine mammals under that label. But biologically speaking, orcas are like the apex version of the playful dolphins you see leaping beside boats, only smarter, stronger, and far more strategic. Now, about the word killer. That one has a deeper, darker origin. The scientific name of the species is Orcinus orca. The term Orcinus is Latin and translates to something like belonging to the kingdom of the dead, a haunting reference that hints at the creature's lethal prowess in the wild. Some interpretations of orca even relate it to an ancient term for a large vessel or container, possibly a nod to the animal's powerful, barrel-like frame. But before you imagine these animals prowling the seas, in search of humans, let's get something straight. There has never been a single documented case of a wild orca killing a human. That's right, in the wild these ocean giants show no interest in us. However, the story takes a different turn in captivity. Confined to small tanks, stripped of their social bonds, and subjected to chronic stress, some captive orcas have been involved in tragic incidents with trainers. These aren't acts of instinctual aggression. They're outbursts rooted in deep psychological distress. In their natural environment, orcas are highly social and incredibly organized. They live in tight-knit family units known as pods, often led by an elder female, a matriarch who passes down knowledge, migration routes, and hunting strategies across generations. But here's where it gets really fascinating. These pods don't just function like families, they operate like cultural communities. Yes, culture, in the true sense of the word. Two pods living in the same ocean can have entirely different diets, distinct vocalizations, and unique hunting techniques that are exclusive to their group. And when it comes to feeding, orcas are disturbingly versatile. Their menu includes fish, squid, rays, sharks, seals, penguins, dolphins, even full-grown whales. Some orcas have become so specialized that they hunt great white sharks, targeting them with surgical precision and extracting only the liver, a nutrient-rich delicacy. This isn't random predation, it's calculated and passed down through observation and imitation. Despite being at the top of the food chain, orcas have no natural predators. Nothing in the ocean poses a real threat to them, not even the great white shark. In fact, when the two meet, it's usually the shark that backs down or doesn't survive the encounter. And if all that wasn't impressive enough, orcas are also incredibly long-lived. In the wild, females can live 80 to 90 years, and males often reach between 30 and 60, with some individuals known to have lived over 70 years. Sadly, in captivity, many don't make it past their 30s, and several die young. This longevity, paired with their intelligence and social nature, allows orcas to share knowledge across decades. In many ways, they're the storytellers of the sea, preserving and passing on the traditions of their kind through generations. And that's where it all comes together: culture, intelligence, adaptation. These animals don't just survive. They evolve, they teach, and they uphold a legacy. Are they killers? Yes, but they're also emotional, strategic, and socially complex, rivaling the cognitive depth of primates, and maybe even of us. Chapter 2. Deadly Intelligence. Why the label killer? Because orcas don't just kill to survive. Sometimes they kill to teach, to play, or simply to master a technique. There are documented cases of orcas capturing seals, only to toss them high into the air again and again without ever eating them. It's a chilling display, part training, part dominance, and perhaps part entertainment. Some scientists call this play behavior. Others see it as cruelty. A few even suggest it borders on sadism. Orcas are vocal creatures. They don't just make noise. They communicate using intricate sound patterns, clicks, whistles, and pulsed calls. So yes, orcas hunt, attack, observe, learn, and teach. But above all, they adapt. While many apex predators rely on brute force or sheer speed, orcas lean into something far more potent: strategy. They have time, they have patience, they have memory, and perhaps most importantly, they have purpose. Chapter 3. The Ruthless Menu. What orcas eat around the world. When you think of orcas, think apex predator, the true kings and queens of the ocean. These powerful creatures sit comfortably at the top of the marine food chain with no natural enemies. But their list of prey? That's where things get really intense. In some regions, orcas focus almost exclusively on fish, especially salmon. But there's one target that truly turns heads: the great white shark. Yes, orcas are among the only animals known to hunt and kill these ocean giants. And what's even more astonishing? They do it with surgical precision. Some pods have been observed targeting only the liver, an organ packed with nutrients, leaving the rest of the shark untouched. Across the globe, different orca populations have developed different hunting specializations. Some go after seabirds, others target humpback calves or minke whales. Their strategies are as diverse as their diets, and tailored to their environment and culture. Orcas don't just rule the oceans, they decide how, where, and what to hunt, and that's exactly what makes them so captivating and so terrifying. Chapter 4. Captivity Controversy. When the killer whale becomes the victim feared in the wild, revered in documentaries, and yet, at the heart of one of the most heartbreaking ethical debates of our time, the captivity of orcas. In the open ocean, these animals are endurance athletes, roaming hundreds of miles, navigating deep waters, and living in tight-knit family groups. But inside a concrete tank, everything changes. The freedom, the space, the purpose, gone. In captivity, most orcas don't live past 30. Many die as teenagers, worn down by chronic stress, illness, and social deprivation. Creatures that once ruled the seas are reduced to performing tricks. The consequences are devastating: collapsed dorsal fins, repetitive pacing, unresponsiveness, self-harm. You're not just seeing a bored animal, you're watching a wild spirit slowly fade. And then there's the dark side that's harder to ignore: the attacks. In the wild, no orca has ever killed a human, not once. But in captivity, there have been multiple incidents, some fatal, not out of malice, but out of psychological breakdown. As awareness grew, so did the public outcry. Protests erupted. Documentaries like Blackfish lit a fire under the conversation. Some marine parks finally pledged to end breeding programs and phase out shows. But we're not there yet. Watching an orca leap out of the water may feel magical. But behind that moment, there might be pain, loneliness, and years of silent suffering. So, fate begs the question: in the story of the so-called killer whale, who's really the victim? Chapter 5. Brilliant and brutal. Inside the hunting tactics of killer whales, picture this. You're a seal, resting peacefully on a chunk of floating ice. The sun's out. The sea is calm. Then, out of nowhere, a massive wave slams into the ice, flipping it violently. You scramble to flee, but on the other side, sleek black and white shapes emerge, moving in perfect formation. This isn't chaos. It's choreography. You're not facing random predators, you're facing orcas. And what you've just witnessed isn't an attack, it's a military-grade operation. Orcas are masters of cooperative hunting. Unlike most predators, they don't just follow instinct. They strategize, they communicate, they coordinate, and astonishingly, they teach. One of the most chilling examples comes from how they hunt rays and small sharks. Orcas flip their prey upside down, inducing tonic immobility, a natural state of paralysis. The victim freezes, helpless, and then the orca makes its move, usually removing the liver with eerie precision. They know exactly where the liver is and how to extract it quickly. This tactic isn't a fluke. It's been documented across the globe. It suggests not just intelligence, but cultural transmission, learned behavior passed down like a predator's playbook. And here's the darker truth. Sometimes the orca doesn't kill its prey right away. Sometimes the hunt becomes a lesson. Repeated attacks, prolonged stress, even letting the animal escape just to try again. A form of training, a demonstration, maybe even a test, cruel, possibly, but also brutally effective and terrifyingly smart. So when we call orcas intelligent, the word almost feels inadequate, because intelligence alone doesn't explain this level of precision. This is strategy. This is teaching. This is lethal genius. Extra chapter. Shocking facts about orcas. They play with their prey. Orcas have been seen tossing seals into the air or swimming in circles before striking. It's a behavior that seems to mix training, instinct, and maybe a touch of animal sadism. They sink boats. Recent incidents in southern Europe show orcas deliberately attacking small boats, damaging rudders, and even causing vessels to sink. Is it play, retaliation, or social learning? Each pod has its own culture. Hunting, techniques, vocalizations, migration routes, all of it learned, not genetically inherited. We're talking about true marine traditions. They hunt sharks just for the liver. Some orcas have mastered the technique of flipping sharks upside down, which paralyzes them temporarily, just to extract the liver, rich in fat. A surgical, calculated kill. They have massive brains. Relative to body size, orca brains are among the largest in the animal kingdom, with highly developed areas for emotion, empathy, and social bonding. They're at the top of the food chain. Orcas have no natural predators. Not even the great white shark is safe. Some orca groups are specialized shark hunters. They have dialects. Yes, just like humans in different regions. Each orca pod has unique sounds, a kind of language passed down through generations. Think of it as oceanic accents. A female orca can outlive your great-grandmother. They go through menopause, live up to 90 years, and spend decades caring for younger generations. The true matriarchs of the sea. And what about you? What surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments, and if you haven't already, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, because here, nature is wild, smart, and absolutely fascinating. See you on our next deep dive.